What if I told you a teenager walking his dog, is detained by ICE agents with a full mask, just walking his dog? LA teenager, Benjamin Marcelo Guerrero-Cruz was supposed to be starting his senior year at Reseda Charter High this month. But just days after his 18th birthday, federal agents wearing masks detained him as he was walking his dog in the Los Angeles neighborhood of Van Nuys in what his family described as a kidnapping. The agents allowed his dog to just run loose and treated the teenager like a criminal and joked while arresting him, his family said in a GoFundMe description. Valerie, one of the neighbors, okay, who saw the teen in the unmarked truck before he was taken into custody, said during the Tuesday press conference, she told the downtown Los Angeles crowd she was walking her dog when she saw an unmarked SUV and multiple men who were wearing tactical vests and were either fully or partially masked. They were holding Guerrero-Cruz's dog's leash, but soon after, Valerie approached one of the men, unclipped the dog's leash, and let it run off. She said, well, that creates a danger for people. These individuals are supposed to be there to protect and serve, right? Of course not. There's more. Educators and advocates. Educators and advocates held a rally to bring attention to the teenager's detention itself, demanding his release and call for answers from local officials, such as the Los Angeles Unified School District superintendent, about the unmarked vehicle in plain clothes, men wearing masks, who took him on the morning of August 8th. Alberto M. Carvalho, the LAUSD superintendent, said in a statement, quote, immigration enforcement near schools disrupts learning and creates anxiety that can last far beyond the school day. That is correct. The superintendent has said he is in communication with the teenager's mother, who has alleged that the child was being held with dozens of men, receiving water only once a day and insufficient food in a space that doesn't have enough room for everyone to sit or lie down at the same time. Many have reported filthy conditions, not having access to clean clothes and towels for days at a time inside the detention facility that the teenager is being held. There are laws against all of this. U.S. Senator John Ossoff, dear friend, has launched multiple investigations into the treatment of individuals who are detained, especially in federal prisons and in federal custody. The conditions are more than deplorable. He called it a civil rights issue and a prevalent one. But because of how society will classify individuals who have some level of entanglement with law enforcement, it's not typically given the same amount of attention. But it should, because this is part of that, let's just call it what it is, extreme evil. The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, Department of Homeland Security, said in a statement that Guerrero-Cruz was being detained pending his removal from the U.S. Benjamin Guerrero-Cruz, this is a quote, an illegal alien from Chile, according to their statement, overstayed his visa by more than 2 years, abused in a visa waiver program under which he entered the United States, which required him to depart the United States March 15, 2023. The agency says, once again, another overstayed visa violation. Used to be a paperwork dynamic, right? Used to be a thing where, okay, what's an overstayed visa? I've had Republicans come on my show to argue a point about Canadians when I posed the question, why are we not rounding up Canadians who, for multiple years, were the number one violators of overstayed visas in the United States of America? That's in the data. The response from Republicans, well, we already have their information. They came here legally. An overstayed visa is basically just a paperwork issue. Okay. Why are we still seeing brown folk being arrested under that law and not the ones who are the number one violators? Well, see, the answer is what it is. That's not who the narrative is against. It's not about the law. It's about their selective opportunity to utilize it. Prosecutorial discretion is at play. So when you get caught up in their laws, you're already losing because their laws were not written for you to win. It was written for their power. And anytime we can start thinking that what's legal is always right and what they deem as illegal is always wrong, you would have never had a Rosa Parks. You would have never had a Dr. King. You would have never had a Joseph Lowry. You would have never had these individuals who stood up against laws that they judged to be immoral, unethical, and not qualified to govern them. So here we are, individuals jumping out with masks on, putting children inside of vans in a school district, and who has to speak up? Not the police chief, not the governor, but the superintendent of damn schools. Put up the GoFundMe. We want to help. The family started a GoFundMe account to pay for the unimaginable legal services required, immigration fees to fight for his return to help him rebuild his life if deported. The link to the GoFundMe will be included in the description of this segment. Help support a family in crisis after ICE detention. I ask that you do the best you can do with that. Meanwhile, a TikToker who posted anti-ICE videos about ICE got arrested by ICE. Here it is.
This video shows a Colombian TikToker being yanked out of her Tesla by ICE agents during an arrest. Tatiana Martinez was streaming on the app when agents approached her car in Los Angeles. An official from the Department of Homeland Security said in a statement that she was detained because of a prior DUI conviction, adding that Martinez came to the U.S. in 2022 and was, quote, released by the Biden administration. Martinez gained a following on TikTok after posting videos documenting ICE raids under President Trump, with videos advising people on what they should do if stopped by agents. She's being held in a facility near the Mexican border, and it's not clear if she has an attorney.
Because of a DUI some years back. Definitely the worst amongst us, right? It's insane, isn't it? We know good and damn well why she was targeted. Put her up full mask. Colombian TikToker, Tatiana Martinez, gained followers on TikTok after she posted videos documenting the immigration and customs enforcement raids under Donald Trump. Newsweek reported this. She also shared guidance about what people should do to retain their rights during an ICE interaction. Department of Homeland Security spokesperson Reseda McLaughlin said in a statement that Martinez was detained because of a previous conviction of driving under the influence in Los Angeles. According to the spokesperson, Ms. Martinez came to the United States in 2022 and, quote, was released by the Biden administration. The spokesperson said that as agents were detaining Martinez, another person unlawfully towed a government police vehicle. He mocked and videotaped ICE officers chasing after him. Secretary Kristen Noem has been clear. Anyone who seeks to impede law enforcement will be found and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Yeah. A few, but not many, a few MAGA people wanted this kind of extremism, but not the majority of it. I didn't hear you say it. And if you do, or if you did want this, proclaim it. Don't make excuses for Trump. Don't say it's the agency and not the administration. Go ahead and tell the damn truth. And if you don't want it, say that too. Whatever it is, do this. Be true to thyself, and to thyself be true. Whatever it is, whatever you believe, say it. Stand on that belief. Homeland Security. Put it up. When reacting to a headline from Newsweek about the arrest said on X, now this is them responding to a social media narrative story. You bet we did, Newsweek. Lady Tatiana Mafia Martinez is a criminal illegal alien from Colombia who was convicted for driving under the influence in Los Angeles. Martinez entered the country in 2022 and was released by the Biden administration under President Trump and Secretary Nuys. If you break the law, you will face the consequences. Here's the thing. So while they're trying to spin a narrative that somehow having a DUI arrest a few years back that makes you a criminal, look at the stats. If a person is going to get arrested in the United States of America for anything, the overwhelming likelihood of what that arrest will be is for a DUI. It happened. So now the narrative is, if you've ever got a DUI, well, damn getting a DUI, if you have ever done the thing to get a DUI and didn't get caught, you are, in fact, according to this narrative, you're a hardened criminal. You see, if they can make the narrative fit successfully to them, to others, what makes you think it won't fit for you? Always say something when they come knocking on your neighbor's door, because you're going to need your neighbor when they come knocking on yours. All right. Thoughts, dear brother?
I mean, I agree entirely. I think it seems like every day we're seeing new ramifications of what this administration is doing, specifically with ICE, and none of them are good. I mean, with this first gentleman you brought up, it's like, okay, so he has an expired visa, so I guess we can go ahead and ruin his life and give him trauma that he'll have to deal with for the remainder of his days. Also, I mean, even just the small thing of letting the dog off the leash just kind of blows my mind, especially in LA. That is a legitimately dangerous thing to do. I know that might sound like a small thing in comparison with how horrible all of these other situations are, but it goes to show that this isn't thought out. These guys don't know what they're doing. They're doing whatever comes to the top of their mind. And I think the conditions that these people are being held in it's intended, I think, to make them not pursue due process and not pursue getting a lawyer, because they essentially make it so bad. I mean, I've heard about this in the Alligator Alcatraz situation, where people there are so horrendously treated that they would rather be sent back to the streets of another country than to continue being there, because it's just not worth it. And so I think the cruelty is the point, and I hope that these GoFundMes do become funded, because we need to make it easier for these people to stick up for themselves and have some kind of route to justice.
That's right. As long as we don't allow them to break our spirits, we win. As long as they don't break our will to do right and stand up for what is right to do, as long as we are still here in both presence and protest, we will win. Don't forget that.